Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's guide to Graveyard Keeper here in 2023 with the Breaking Dead, Stranger Sins, Game of Crone, and Better Save Soul DLC, all of that activated. And we're just going to start a brand new game, and I'm going to walk you through the basics of how to play, what to be thinking about, the controls, some tips and tricks in a way that's not spoilery at all or min-maxy or too didactic in terms of just telling you to do exactly this, but really just a way to explain all of the features of the game so you can go about enjoying it however you want to with knowledge of the game's systems and mechanics. Okay, so I'm just going to fire up a brand new game. I am playing on the PC, by the way. It's an ordinary day, and our hero is hurrying home where someone very important is waiting for him. Even in everyday routine, there's a place for loving and feeling loved, especially when you know that someone misses you. That heart pillow. We've been struck. What happened? Where is everything? Calm down, you've merely turned a page in your life. A whole new chapter awaits you ahead. I need to go home. Can I go home? There is always a way to get home, and you can see that new task appeared above our character's head. Let me see. Your new home is a graveyard. Now wait a minute. Does that mean I'm dead? It means you're a graveyard keeper now. All right. But I need to go home to my love. Then you need to be a good graveyard keeper. You should dig up Jerry. He'll help you sort everything out, says the mysterious stranger all in black. Who? What a strange vision. What is this nightmare? Okay, let's find Jerry. All right, so we are in our home, okay? And just as a heads up, like I said at the beginning, this is featuring all of the game's DLC, and I am playing on PC, and I'm using a controller. Now, this game is on the Switch. It's on many different platforms and can be enjoyed, so just understand some of your controls might be a little bit different, and some features, if you are just playing vanilla, might be different, but the basics will be the same. I wanted to do this guide in a way with all of the DLC so you can see how the beginning of the game might be different. If you are starting up again, you tried and you couldn't really gain traction in this game, if you had started a few years ago. For example, I have a Let's Play that goes from the very beginning of me booting up this game, from my first moment all the way through every aspect of the game. I got almost all of the achievements that are possible, and you can see an extremely long and detailed playthrough there. But when I did it, 2 of the DLCs actually came out while I was playing, and some of that content was not available from the get-go, so the beginning of that game is going to be different, for example, than the beginning of this game. So let's take a look. Now, when you're seeing the text, words in orange are kind of like keywords that you want to pay attention to. The story in this game is humorous, nonsensical, and that's how it's supposed to be. This is a very funny game, and just kind of roll with it. I mean, we get hit by a car, we go to this other realm. Is this the afterlife? We don't know, and now we have to be a graveyard keeper, and we're trying to get home, which is what, come back from the dead, and it happens very quickly. There's not a lot of exposition with regards to that. We just want to get into the meat and bones of being a graveyard keeper. You wake up in this pleasant little cottage, and the bouncing yellow indicator at the bottom, the arrow, is telling us where to go. There is also over here on the wall a blueprint that has a magnifying glass, and if we walk over to it and push the A button, at least for me on the controller, it says, "Looks like a good place to work on making my home cozy. Then maybe I can finally stop dreaming about this skull." This is a blueprint, and we can't really get into doing this too much until we progress the main quest, so let's go down and do that. We push A to exit, and here we are in the beautiful Graveyard Keeper world. Nice bright colors for a graveyard. Now we just follow this arrow up to the north, and there's a shallow grave here, and the hand icon is telling us that we can interact with this, and we're going to go ahead and just dig up a grave. Good beginnings. Holy sard, I'm a skull. Are you Jerry? Why would you think I'm Jerry? A man with a red eye told me that I need to dig up Jerry. A red eye. I remember. Oh, Sard, that's right, I'm Jerry. How'd you find me? The man told me that you'd answer all my questions. Good, good, but first, let me ask you, who are you and where the Sard are we? ... I must be dreaming. None of this can be real. You're the new Graveyard Keeper. What else do I remember? Let me think. I remember that sound. Let's go check it out. That bell chiming, that's going to get ingrained in your soul. Everything is so strange. None of this makes sense. I definitely remember that. Something is very wrong with that animal. He could be dangerous. All right, so we're talking to a bouncing skull. Everybody, welcome to Graveyard Keeper, and here is a talking donkey. Donkeys of the world unite. You've unlocked a new technology and got blueprint. Donkeys of the world unite. And then the donkey says, got a fresh corpse from the town. Wow, a talking donkey. ... You can understand me. Let's talk. Who are you? I'm cheap labor. This card isn't mine, so I have to work for the capitalist jerk who owns it. And I only earn 5 carrots a day. This situation is deeply humiliating. You know where I'm coming from, right, comrade? The jerk pretends that he doesn't understand anything I'm saying. Anyway, I need to go back to the town. You get rid of this one, and I'll bring you a new one. What a strange land this is. Indeed. Alright. So a corpse has been dumped. Hey, what are you staring at? Grab that juicy corpse while it's still fresh. And you can see it, the 100% freshness indicator with the heart indicating it's like, health is deteriorating as time passes. What for? I feel like we should take it to the morgue. I don't remember why exactly, but I'm pretty sure it'll be fun and might be profitable. Oh, I'm gonna puke. Let's do it. All right, so it's telling us that we can use the A button to pick up and drop large items, like bodies. And if we push A right next to it, we can pick it up. If I push A again, I kind of throw it. I can do that at any time. And I can walk through this door right here while carrying the body. Sard, I like this place. Feels like home. Put that body on the autopsy table. Then, what's next? Oh yes, slice some flesh from the corpse. That should be good for starters. What? No way. This isn't right. Sure, it's not right. How could I forget? Maybe because I'm a talking skull with amnesia. Is it right that you don't know where you are? Is it right that I'm a skull? Nothing is right here. So shut the Sard up and do what I tell you. You promise you'll tell me how to get home? You just need to trade the meat in the village tavern for a beer. Talking skulls never lie. And then bring the beer to me. Alright. First slice, you've unlocked a new technology and got a blueprint to make a preparation place, a blueprint to create a pallet, and we can extract flesh. So, while the game is paused, let me talk to you a little bit overall about what this game is. Hopefully you're watching this guide because you've either purchased the game recently and want to know how to play, or you're thinking about purchasing it and just want to see what it's all about. This is a game that is a crafting, building, management game, and you can kind of think of it loosely like Stardew Valley with corpses. Alright, so you're going to do a lot of the things familiar in Stardew Valley. You're going to fight kind of Zelda style in dungeons. You're going to fish. You're going to farm. And unlike Stardew Valley, you're going to be working with bodies. So it's really gross, and at first I was like appalled, but I'll tell you what, you kick that real quick in this game because you do things of such an unbelievably disturbing nature as a graveyard keeper that, you know, you begin squeamish, but you get battle hardened really fast, and the game does it all with such a sense of humor that it's not to be taken seriously. So let's go over here, and this wooden table with the blood all over it is indeed the autopsy table, and you could see that it says put, so if we throw the corpse down, it drops, and now we can do an autopsy, and it changes the interaction button to the message autopsy. We push A, and we are doing an autopsy. Now, what we want to know from this screen is basically there are all these boxes over here on the right portion of this window that say body parts. And these are the body parts that we can interact with. Now, all these question marks mean that we don't know enough about anatomy and science and the like to even interact with these other body parts. All we can do right now as a beginning graveyard keeper is take out flesh from this body. So if you mouse over or select one of these boxes, the A button becomes extract, meaning like you're going to peel this off. Now, over on the left portion of this window, you'll see the body, you'll see a red skull indicator and a white skull indicator, and then a current value of red and white skulls and a percentage of freshness for the body displayed underneath that. So what this means is there's basically bad quality, which are red skulls, and good quality, which are white skulls, but it's a little bit more in-depth than that in the game. It almost reflects morality as well, as loosely as this game deals with that. So, like, good person, bad person, quote-unquote, whatever that means. And you get more rewards for putting higher quality bodies in your graveyard, and the more white skulls, the more esteemable that body becomes and the more benefit you'll get. But at the beginning of the game, you really don't want to worry about that at all because you can't do very much except destroy these things. But as you get more sophisticated, you will be making choices on what body parts to add and remove and how to make this body better. But for right now, let's just take out the flesh. Now, on the tooltip window that pops up above the flesh, you see it says study not complete. And then in parentheses, there's like a blue kind of gem icon. And then below that, it says crafted at the preparation place and preparation place 2. Okay? So what this is telling us is that we have a preparation place here, and this is where you can get flesh. Preparation place 2 is like an upgraded version of this that we can't build now. You can study things scientifically to get more knowledge of this part, and that will give you a particular kind of experience. There are 3 colors of experience in this game that we'll talk about, but basically there is blue experience, which is what this icon means. And there is a tech tree, which we'll see in a moment, and you can learn new graveyard keeping talents that are either decorative or science-based or, farming or whatever it is that you want to do, that are governed by these 3 main types of experience, red, green, and blue, okay? So for now, we can't really do any of that, but I want to just give you a sense of you're going to be gaining experience, you're going to be unlocking technology, and you're going to be getting better and building and upgrading and crafting and decorating and doing all kinds of fantastically fun stuff in this game. So I'm going to push A to extract this flesh. And it says, you want to do that? And we say, yes, we do. All right. And then once you select that, it opens up this work screen, which has a yellow progress bar. And basically, you're just going to hold down, in my case, the Y button, and work on this. And you can see there is, above my head, there's a negative lightning bolt icon in blue with a number, and that is your energy. So we are expending energy to do this task, and if I let go of the Y button like I've done right here, I am no longer expending that energy, but the progress bar stops and you retain your progress. So you could like walk away and just leave that there and then come back and finish this if you wanted to do something else. But I'm going to finish this. I'm going to keep holding Y, and then you unlocked a new technology and you got Meat Fiesta. We can now create a burger, a sandwich, and baked meat. And yes, that is out of human flesh. That is how disgusting this whole prospect of being a graveyard keeper is. But just bear in mind that it's tongue-in-cheek in this game, so I just tell myself it's all a big joke. But it is, at the end of the day, horrifyingly disturbing. That's disgusting, indeed. You'll get used to it, which you do. So what should I do with the corpse? I don't know, let's bury it. Take the corpse. I'll wait for you in the graveyard. Alright, so we can go now and go to the graveyard. So where is the graveyard? Alright, let's leave this place. You'll notice right away that there is some rubble blocking the passage to the left in this morgue basement area, and you can push A to clear it out, and it tells you you can clear this path if you have these items, which we do not have. Over here is another space, but you can see that even repairing this mortuary desk and blueprint is broken, so we really can't do much except listen to Jerry's advice, but there's no indicator right now, so the only place we can go is out, push A to exit, and then wait, we can't leave yet because Jerry told me to bring the corpse. So we got to go get the corpse, pick it up, and you have to select Autopsy, and once you're done, we're going to take the body. But what I want you to notice is two things. Number one, you see there are no longer two white skulls on this body, and now it is one red skull and one white skull. That is because we took the flesh out, and the flesh thereby was somehow adding one white skull to this body, making its quality higher and its goodness higher. We lost that when we took out the flesh, so that's a consequence of doing that, but we had to do it for the quest, and we can go sell this, so it's reasonable, but that's what happened. Additionally, you can see that in the bottom portion, this corpse has deteriorated so much because I've been slow in dealing with it that it's down to 89% quality, and that means that that first white skull, which is in the box on the far right of the bottom portion of the left window, has been canceled by corpse rot. And so you really need to get to these bodies quickly when you are focusing on having high quality bodies. For now, there's no stress. Do not worry about this at all. And that's actually something I want to emphasize just across the board. Don't worry about anything in this game, because you can always replace things and redo things with better bodies. So just have fun and accept the fact that you're not going to be great at this starting out, and do not get discouraged at all, because you can undo all of this with better stuff later. All right, I'm going to take the body, and now I'm carrying it, and I'm going to walk out, open the door, and now the arrow is pointing to the left. I'm going to follow this road down here. You can see it's pretty cloudy or foggy, and I'm going to walk into the graveyard, which is right here, and Jerry is here. We could talk to him, and he says, let's bury it. So it says, tutorial blueprint desk. Use the blueprint desk at the graveyard. Mark a site for the grave, then dig it with your shovel. Carefully put the body, or what remains of it, in the grave. Bury. Decorate. Warning, do not use goat skulls and upside-down stars for decoration. Indeed, right? So you want to have, like, proper pious decoration to do a good job for the church. So this is a huge arc of the game. We're going to be getting bodies, doing autopsies, making grave plots, and decorating them. So first things first, we got a rusty shovel from Jerry that we can use. And let's go to the blueprint desk, and you say build, okay? And we can't build a flower bed because we don't have the required materials, which you see on the right. And the numbers are in red, indicating how many we have. And all we can build is a grave site. So I'm going to select grave site by pushing A. You can push Y to get information, and it says creating of a grave site will require nothing because it doesn't take anything. And now I can build a grave site. Now we go into build mode here, You see the yellow and black construction tape around sections of the graveyard that have grids. This is the only places where you can actually build graves. So you can't just build it willy-nilly. They give you zones for where a grave will go. Now, I'm using the left stick to move around this grave, and you can see there are hands on all four sides of this, meaning like I can move it up, down, left, and right. And while the grave site is red, that means it's an improper placement. You can't put it there. But if I push up on it, it now becomes white, meaning I can place it there. Usually what you want to do in the graveyard is maximize your available space. So you want to try to put things in corners and line them up so that you can take advantage of the plots and don't run out of room. But again, even if you were to put it like right dead center, you can always just move this later. You can deconstruct it, you can take out the body, you could put it in someplace else, so don't worry, it's not permanent, okay? So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put it in this upper left plot up here, where I know I'm taking full advantage of that space, and I'm going to push A to place it. Okay, and now you can see we have the outline of a grave up here. All you need to do is walk over to this, and now the interact Y icon has become a shovel, which we just got one, and I can do this by digging this up. And if I push Y, you'll see I throw the body on the ground, and it's still rotting while this is happening, by the way. Okay, and I'm going to hold Y just like before to fill up this progress bar and finish digging. As I do that, you can see I'm expending energy, okay? And now I've got the body, the gravesite completely dug out. Now, you'll notice that a -2 icon floated up there, meaning that my graveyard itself gets a score, a quality score. And having an open grave like this is unsightly, so we lost 2 quality for having a grave that's unfinished. I'm going to pick up the body, and I'm just going to push A again to inter the corpse, which means just drop it in the hole, okay? And then you see we got +1 quality point, because now that there's at least a body in here, and if we hold Y, we'll fill this back in, okay? And we did it. Nicely done. We buried our first body. This burial certificate, I remember. Money, alcohol. Alcohol, I sure used to like it a lot. Oh, Sard, here comes the bishop. He's your boss. And here comes the BB, the bishop. Oh, I know. Ask him about this burial certificate. He should know something. I'd better leave now. I'll be in the morgue, waiting for my beer. All right, so here comes the bishop. Dear me, why am I so tired? Why do I have to come here every week? All right, so we have a new person to talk to, and it's the bishop. And let's go talk to him. Oh dear, the new keeper. We've been expecting him for 30 years, but he pretends there's nothing wrong. Sorry, buddy. And he's looking around. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your graveyard is a mess. And he's assessing our graveyard. It is a mess. There's no way I'm promoting you to cleric until you fix it. Okay, so first of all, why would I want to be a cleric? Just run with it. That's what we want. And so this is the tutorial breaking down more of what I was telling you about before. So locations. There's a nameplate that gives the location name. Okay, then moving down from that on the hinges is another plate that says important location information. The graveyard quality and the church appeal. So graveyard quality is marked with a skull with a laurel wreath around it, and the church appeal is marked by the cross there, and that is an indicator telling you how much of those resources you're gaining from what you have placed. Repair graves to increase the graveyard's overall quality. So you can see there's like these rundown graves with cobwebs and stuff all over the place. And we can fix these up to make our graveyard better, and that's one of our new objectives. You'll probably need special resources to do that. Indeed, we will. So we've now learned how to make a wooden graveyard marker. So we got a new technology, the humble marker, okay? And we say, great. As soon as your graveyard quality is at least 5, I'll be pleased to promote you. So our goal is to get our graveyard quality up to 5. You look like a spiritual leader, and I'm a good judge of character. Haha, he's not. I'm good at everything. That's why I was chosen to represent his will. Ha ha ha. Very convincing. Your predecessor used to keep his stuff in the trunk somewhere here. You should check it. I'll come by again next week. In fact, I come here every Sunday. That's the icon for Sunday. Maybe I'm not dreaming. Did I eat something wrong? Oh, he's waiting. What should I say? Why is it you come here? It's part of my duty. The unpleasant part. It's kind of an old tradition. I don't know much about all the traditions and rituals. I'm just here to represent his might and glory. Ha ha! I have one tiny question. What is this burial certificate? As soon as a body has been laid to rest, you can trade its burial certificate for money at the village tavern. Makes sense, right? So you've unlocked a new technology and got a blueprint, Bishop's Choice. All right. So now we could talk to him. And you can see we have several dialogue options. We can get some information with these first two. This one is telling you that I can complete the quest of fixing up the graveyard, but the left box says we need 5 quality. If a number is in red in this game, that means you don't meet the requirement. So we need 5 quality to get it. And over on the right with the plus 10 smiley face, that means our reputation with the bishop, his relationship with us will increase by 10. Like, he will like us 10 more if we do that. So I can say, I'm not the keeper. I was going home from work. How can I fix the graveyard? Let's just tell him I'm not the keeper. And he says, I need to go home. There's a talking skull. He forced me to butcher a corpse. Haha, fine joke. I'm a humorist myself. Here's one. Who is BB? Who? I am. Haha. Oh, he made a little joke for himself. Blessed and beautiful. That's the BB for you. So you can ignore him or you can laugh. I'll laugh. That's a great joke, buddy. How can I fix the graveyard? Just repair all the graves. It wouldn't take much, even an hour, but it's your job. So this is the tutorial that we got before, and we can ask him about the certificate, which he already told us about. So we're going to leave. If you run out of repair kits while fixing the graveyard, you can always craft new ones. All right, so tutorial, technologies. To craft new items, you'll need to unlock the relevant technology. This costs tech points. Press the start button to open the technology tree. Red points represent your handcrafting skills and your ability to work with materials. So like I said, there are 3 different types of experience or tech points in this game. Red points you use to unlock new things that you can do that are generally crafting. Green points represent your knowledge about the nature of things and nature itself. So these are for farming-related things or anything natural. And blue points represent your spiritual knowledge of the immaterial world. You get your first blue at a study table in the church basement. So this is kind of like your religion, your science. So this has to do with your ability to do spiritual stuff. You earn points by simply doing anything. Also, you can get points by studying new items at a special table. So generally, you get tech points or experience of the color that is related to the task that you're doing. And early game blue points are very hard to come by. So we'll see how that goes. So the concept of stone, we've unlocked a new technology and we can build a stone stockpile and we can gather stone rock. So we can go get big stone rocks or get a huge piece from a big one. We also learned the concept of wood, so we can build a timber stockpile, we can gather trees and gather sticks. All right? And now the tech tree is right in our face. So the game is really opening up. The whole UI is present. Let's talk about the tech tree itself. So right away we see that we have the technology tree in front of us, and the concept of wood and the concept of stone are on the left side of this tech tree, and they're in gold because we know them. The path line in gold indicates progress, and the connection means that, for example, I can move to the right on my tech tree and I can learn how to saw, but in order to get this, I first need the prerequisite that follows the gold line to the left, which we have, the concept of wood, but I need 5 red tech points and 2 green tech points, which I don't have. Similarly, you can see other parts of the tech tree and what it would take to get there and the experience needed by moving to the right and following the path. Now, you can see different parts of the tech tree by using the left and right trigger for me. So I'm on the building tech, but if I go over to the left, there's smithing, there's farming, there's book writing, there's theology, okay, which is like making better grave decorations, for example. There's anatomy and alchemy, which is being better at doing autopsies, and there's even cooking, which we've already learned, meat fiesta. Now for cooking, you just kind of learn the recipe. You don't generally have to spend tech, and they aren't connected. But this is the tech tree itself. Now before I leave this window, I'm going to show you that there are also 4 tabs right now that we have access to that we can move between with the left and right bumper. Now of course, again, your controls will be different if you're playing with mouse and keyboard, for example. All right, I'm going to go to the left, and I'm going to show you that this is our character panel. In the upper left, you see our inventory. We have the burial certificate, and we have the flesh. In the bottom right, there we can access a nearby trunk, which has wood repair kits, stone repair kits, an axe, a pickaxe, and a hammer in it. We are currently equipped with a rusty shovel. All right, and I'm going to take these items out of the trunk and equip them. So I'm going to just... oh, it looks like I actually can't pick these up from the trunk. I have to... The quest is making me walk closer to the trunk first. So I will do that. But before I do that, let's take a look at the screen. In the upper left, okay, you can see the time wheel. And there is a day, there's a sun and night and day portion of this wheel that's indicating that the sun is setting and it's, time in this day is passing. The day that it is in the bottom, glowing on this wheel, glowing with purple, and it's Sunday. And you can see there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in the weeks in Graveyard Keeper, and usually there are people that correspond to different days, or you can interact with them on different days. So these are important when you are trying to find the BB. So for example, the BB will only be here on Sunday. Okay? The blue bar in the upper left to the right of the time wheel is our current stamina or energy. And in the upper right, that's the location panel. We're in the old graveyard, and its quality is -29, and we need to get it to +5. So we have a long way to go. So let's walk up to this trunk here, and let's open it. And let's go ahead and take out everything that's in here. I'm going to just take this out. And when I push A on this, by the way, we can select one stone repair kit or all of them. I'm going to take them all. I'm going to just take everything from this chest by just pushing take. And then I'm going to push the B button to close this. And I'm going to push the options button or the back button, not start, like I said before, by the way, to open up the character panel. And you can see that automatically these tools have gone into the slots on my character. So I can equip armor and I can equip different tools. I don't have a sword and I don't have a fishing rod, but I now have a hammer, an axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel. All right? And by the way, like for on the axe, for example, it tells you when I use this, its energy consumption rate is -1. Its tool efficiency is 70% because it's rusty. And if I study this at the research desk, I would get red tech points from studying it. Okay? Now, let's say I want to... I'm going to push options and look at some of my other tabs. So I've looked at character, I've looked at tech tree. Let's look at the known NPCs. So this shows you everybody that we've met, and it also tells you any quests that you have with them. So we're the Graveyard Keeper, and our quest is to get back home to our love. That's our main quest. Jerry wants a beer from the tavern, and the bishop wants us to reach 5 quality at the graveyard. And then I could go to the right and see the map, and the clouds are kind of covering up where I haven't been yet. So all I know about is my home, the morgue, and the graveyard. All right? Now, let's go over to this kind of bush here. And if I look at the screen, you can see all of the different icons of what quality we're getting from these features in our graveyard, and this will add up to that negative 29 that we see. So let's just say I use my shovel and spend some energy to dig this out, okay? So if I dig out that bush, I got 2 sticks, and I also got a red tech point and 2 green tech points, and it has improved the quality of the graveyard because this unsightly bush is gone. So what you want to do right now is just kind of remove stuff from the graveyard, right? And get some points. And the quest icon that's pointing to the right is telling us that they want us to go into the town and go to the tavern and hand in our burial certificate. And we can certainly do that. So let's just follow this over here. All right. Now you can see it's becoming night. It's getting darker. And I'm walking by, and there are some farm plots up here. There are some bushes. And if you're curious, like this bush looks like it has berries on it. You can walk up here, but we can't take berries yet because we need a technology. And we can't take mushrooms yet because we need a technology. So I recommend, instead of just exploring willy-nilly right away, you can see we can't go up here because the Great Inquisitor says it can only open on that particular day of the week. So we can't go there. A lot of the stuff is going to be gated until we unlock the appropriate quests. So let's just go into town. You see these rolling wheat fields as we get closer to town. And remember, in the upper right, you can see the location. We are at the wheat farm. And now we're in the village, and this is where we need to go for the quest. You can see the guard walking with his torch, and there's a sign right here that says the Dead Horse Tavern, which is where we want to go. And we walk inside, and here we go. It's a nice, beautiful tavern, and there are 2 people that we can immediately talk to. One of them is Horadric. And welcome to the Dead Horse Tavern. I'm Horadric. How can I help you? I came from the graveyard. I woke up to here today, and things have been crazy since then. He shrugs. Oh, sorry. How could I not have recognized you? Good. This is good. Things are looking bright for our small village. When are you planning on opening the church? I need to fix the graveyard first. Sure. It's been a while since anybody took care of it. So let's get down to business, shall we? How can I help you? All right. So first of all, let's try to get this burial certificate off our hands. About this burial certificate, the bishop told me that you would buy my burial certificates. Yes, he's right. As the head of the village, according to the ancient contract, I have to trade it for money. Of course, only if I have any money. What do you mean? The village is going through hard times. We're short on money. Doesn't look that hard to me. But as soon as you open the church, pilgrims will bring lots of shiny coins to the village. So he's in it for the money. Practical man. I'd like to trade you some fresh meat, quote-unquote. Meat is a delicacy in our village. I'd be glad to buy it. I just need to see the royal meat stamp on it. So he's explaining to us that he can't buy it yet, because many years ago there was an accident with inappropriate meat. Ever since, all meat must be approved by royal authority. And I don't need any trouble with the town. Does your meat have a stamp? And you can say yes if you have a stamp, but I don't. Actually, no. I don't even want to know where you can get unauthorized meat, but wow, it looks really good. But without a stamp, my hands are tied. Where can I get this stamp? Oh, you can send a form to the royal court through the mailbox near your church, but it'll cost you a bundle. Bureaucracy. But there's another way. I'll just tell you because we're neighbors. Come closer. There's a guy called Snake. I think he has a fake royal stamp. But to be honest, I haven't seen him for a while. You can ask Mrs. Charm. She comes here every charm day, is what I call it. I bet she can help you find a snake. Thanks. Do you know how I can get back home? Can you tell me where I am? Because I really need to get home. My darling will be so worried. He looks around. You're at the Dead Horse. Oh, it looks medieval. Maybe I traveled through time? And what year is it now? He shrugs. Year? What do you mean? The time it takes for the Earth to make one revolution around the sun. Oh, you've been listening to the astrologers' nonsense. He smiles. Everybody knows that the Earth is flat. Oh. But I get you. It's 200 after the ancient contract and 210 after... never mind. And what is the name of our beloved kingdom? The kingdom. And it's definitely not beloved here in the village. Do you have any other questions? I can trade him and see what he's selling. Oh, Keeper, could you kindly take this letter to our local blacksmith, Kresvald? Sure, where can I find him? The southeastern corner of the village. All right, so we can sell him our burial certificate. So over on the left side is our inventory, okay? And on the right side is his inventory. And everything that he will buy is highlighted with a value above it in silver and copper for right now. And I'm going to put A, and you'll see that this is going into the top portion of the middle section of the trade window. And the arrows pointing to the right mean like I'm selling this to him, and then on the bottom side would be the transaction of what he's giving me. Right now, he's giving me 1 silver and 50 copper. Now, I could buy some stuff, but you don't need any of this right now. Do not buy anything. We want to definitely save our money for a teleport stone. So just say, I'm good with this, and finish the offer. For me, I do that by pushing Y. And we get money, and I just close this window. All right, and now he wants us, he has 2 tasks for us. He wants us to find a stamp, and he wants us to take a letter to Kresvald. All right? And we can talk to this lady right here. You must be the new graveyard keeper. So I've been told, but how did you know? Oh, if you live as long as I have, you probably learn how to read people too. But where's my manners? I'm Miss Chain, Herodric's wife. Haha. Nice to meet you. I have a few questions about... Oh, you'd better talk with my husband. He's in charge around here. He's not only the tavern keeper, but he's also the elected head of the village. Besides, he really does like to talk. All I can do is sell you some recipes. So I'm going to talk to her again. You better talk with my husband. He's in charge. But actually, I want to see what recipes. So she will sell you some recipes for fish, tasty and healthy, baking, and pies. So if you have money, you can buy cooking recipes, which is a good idea, but don't spend your money on this right now. At least I wouldn't, because the teleport stone is a great item that you can use to just warp back to your house and other locations, and it just saves you time. So let's just save up for that first. And awesome. I think this is a good place to end this first episode of our complete beginner's guide to Graveyard Keeper. We've progressed a little bit. We've learned how to do an autopsy. We've buried a body. We've learned how to start to improve our graveyard. We're exploring the village, and we've talked about time, stamina. We've talked about the map, which you can see we filled in a little bit. Look at all the fog that we've cleared off of the map. We've talked about our character screen, our inventory, our equipped tools, our tech tree, and the quests that we can see with the known NPCs. As we progress in this guide, we'll learn how to do more of the game's functions, but hopefully this has been enough for you to see if this is a game that you might want to play, or to just understand some of the very basic aspects of starting out in the game so that you can get started with your own adventure. Everyone, if you have any questions, please post those below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll check you in the next episode. Take care.